What's up, Kissables? It's the Kissable Diva, and you are tuning into the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships after dark. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to tune in every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud. Everything is listed on kissableretreats.com. So make sure that you go and visit there. It has been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. You know, we came back with the third season, Listener's Choice. I was sick when I did that. I'm still a little bit stuffed, but I think that's just sinuses because of the summer. But I did get sick after that show. I did get some motivation last night, though. I went to the Private Chef Experience, Miami, and it was the bomb diggity. I do have a video that I will be posting about it. Most likely, it will be on the Kissable Retreats YouTube channel. So, guys, today is June 24th. June 24th, y'all, all the way from May 6th to June 24th. So it's been a lot going on. We have just launched Kissable Treasures subscription box. You'll hear more about that if you would like to be the first for the behind the scenes and all the updates. We've did the pre-launch, or we have gone through the pre-launch, which was June 18th. You can sign up on that mailing list so that you can be the first to get all the updates, behind the scene videos and updates and all that greatness about the box. So much has passed that we have not been able to talk about, you know, Meghan Markle getting married. That was a big event. Just a whole bunch of things that's going on in the social media that we do not have the time for on this particular podcast to talk about. But all of it is duly noted. I do want to have a couple more segments and add them to the show so that the show could be a little bit fuller, you know. Although I do get good feedback about the topics that we have, I would just like to be a little bit more broader with a little bit more segments of what I could bring to you. And I have so many resources and tips and tricks to bring to you considering relationships, dating, and date nights and such. So to get to our listener's choice question, who is, I think she wants to be anonymous. I'm not sure, but we're just going to make her anonymous today. What are some things that people can do while they are single to prepare for their husband, or their wife? So I thought this was a really good one. This falls in line with what I talked about on the show May 6th, right? Some of the things that you can do. So I've spoken to some single women, some married women, and even women who have been divorced on what it is that you can prepare for. One of the things that I thought was pretty cool, and I feel like it's not only to prepare, quote unquote, prepare for marriage, or while you're waiting for that special someone to find you. I mean, that's a whole nother story too. But I thought it was cool to I went to a couple sites when I was doing my research, and they were saying community service. And I thought that was really cool. Why would you do community service to help you prepare for your husband or wife, right? So community service is where you are offering up a service to your community, voluntarily, free of charge, from your heart, to help out the community. Usually it's a women's shelter, it's a homeless shelter, it's something for children, something to help with the community that we live in, right? So it's really good for children so that they are grateful for what it is that they have in their homes, grateful with their what their parents give them. It's very, very good, and it makes you selfless. you're not selfish, but it makes you selfless. You think less of what you want, and more of what everybody needs, including yourself, because you can't leave yourself out of it, but what you need, not what you want. So I think that was a really good point. Do some research on what communities that you can indulge yourself in and offer your community service. I think that will help you, the people you are helping, and in the long run, when you find that husband or wife, or they find you, you'll be able to not be so selfish in the things that you want, but you'll be able to be selfless. And if they mirror you, then it's a pretty good match. I'm not going to say perfect, because nothing is perfect in this life, but it'll be a pretty good match if both of you have that quality of being selfless. So another thing I looked for wives, if you're looking for a husband and if you're looking for a wife. So I looked at the perspective of looking for a wife. How about taking care of home? So if you're single, right? If you're single and let's just say you don't have any children, and most people are busy. They're busy, not necessarily saying that they have a social life, but they're like busy with work or, however be it, you're busy, right? School, something, you're busy. And a lot of people, it's not, at least I remember going to college, a lot of people are not, I don't know, sometimes you just have stuff strewn around everywhere. And you only clean up for yourself because you want to see a clean space. And when your space is clean, that's when your thinking and all of that stuff can flow even better, because you're, the space that you're in mirrors how you feel inside, right? So, the space that you're in, you want to make sure that this space is organized and clean. So you won't have to be thinking about, oh my God, I have to wash those clothes, or I have to put that up, or I have to organize this, I have to organize that. When you have such a long list of other things or goals that you're trying to reach, especially if you're a person that is trying to do yearly goals, monthly goals, or however be it. But taking care of home, practicing taking care of home. I had a hairdresser. She's still amazing. What was her? Rashonda. Her name's Rashonda, but she has a personal touch. Personal touch by Rashonda, right? I used to call her my guru. Because she had a lot of wisdom. She used to drop a lot of pearls. Most salons do, and barbershops. But one thing she said to me, and I thought that was like, to me, it was such an enlightenment, right? So she said that, she still cleans, she dresses up, and she cooks as if she has her significant other there. So as long as you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, right? So I thought that was so cool how, even though she does it for herself, she puts in her head as if she's doing it for herself and her future significant other, where she's cleaning and she's cooking and she's dressing. Although, yes, you should dress for yourself, but it gives you a pretty good motivation, because when you're like engaged with someone in a relationship or getting to know them, you're engaged, in that connection that you both have, right? When you're engaged in that connection, you want to, you just want to be better. I hope you do. Whomever you are entertaining, I hope they make you want to be better. And not saying that you cannot be great by yourself, but you just want to, it just brings more positive energy to put forth on any goals that you may set. You want to look better when they see you. Make sure, your hair is done, you're smelling good, you got on that particular perfume, that comment that they made, oh my God, you smell so great. Oh my God, that outfit looks great. You just want to make sure that you're put together when you see that significant other. So taking care of home, I can certainly understand how that can play a part in preparing for your husband or wife. Now, I have a couple friends who don't cook, right? So learning how to cook might be a pretty good thing to do. So learning how to cook, there's so many places where you can, like, they have cooking classes. Go on Groupon, sign up for the cooking classes. And I'm not saying that you have to be a gourmet chef. And I'm not suggesting that, you cook just so you can have a man. I mean, cook so that you want to do it. Cook so that, you don't have to go out and purchase and buy all these things. And it's really healthier if you were to cook for yourself. And you get to meet new people. You make more connections when you're out learning how to cook, or if you're doing it at home, watch some YouTube videos, get some recipes, learn how to cook. It's a good hobby. It keeps you busy. It flourishes you as an individual. I'm not saying learn how to cook just so you can cook for your man, but this is something that you can do for yourself. Doing all of these things prepares you so that you won't spend all of your time wondering why you don't have anyone in your life, but you're spending all of your time preparing for that person that is to walk into your life, right? So this is a pretty big one. Conquering your insecurities, right? Sometimes people don't even know that they have insecurities or don't want to acknowledge and are in denial of their insecurities. So if you are on the path to becoming the best version of yourself, then insecurities are going to come up. And because you're looking into it, you're going to be shown your own insecurities. Now, to deal with those insecurities can be something it could be painful. It could dredge up bad memories. It could even almost make you slip into depression. But that's why you either have a therapist that you speak with. It's nothing wrong with speaking with someone who is outside of the bubble that can tell you what's going on inside of the bubble, right? There's nothing wrong with that. My daughter lost her father. Even though I'm her mother, I still have my father, and I was not able to connect with her so that I can console her. It's nothing that I could do because I've never been through that. I've never been through losing someone close to me. So we have to seek out someone who was outside of the bubble, who has dealt with a child grieving. And that, a child grieving, it can come from so much, but because she was grieving, I sought out therapy, and the therapist was able to pinpoint a lot of the things that she was feeling, able to label it for her, and she was able to assess them, apply what she learned, and she's able to function a little bit better in life, right? So that's an example. All of our insecurities that we would like to tackle to make ourselves a better person, we can seek out therapy. It might be a friend who can give you some clarity of your situation. But to have someone as a therapist in your life is not a negative. It is a positive, and it can give you another perspective of what it is or how you can attack or deal with your insecurities. So, how about money is like the biggest thing that breaks up marriages when one spouse does not know how to manage the money. And it's real bad when they don't see anything wrong with how they're managing the money and the fact that the decisions that they're making is affecting the family or their spouse, right? So, I do promote that. Oh my God, I can't even think of his name. Boyce Watkins. There you go. Boyce Watkins has an amazing program where you can learn about your financials stocks and bonds. He even has something for children. So you, if you have children that you want to make them aware, because I remember growing up and all I was taught about financials really was how to count money and how to write a check. Not necessarily, well, I do remember stocks and bonds, but that was college. And, but I wouldn't learn, I didn't learn how to trade. I didn't learn all of that stuff, but we did dabble a little bit in how to read the stock market. But you don't get that in your primary school career or middle school or high school. It may be something available now. I'm not sure. I don't have a child in high school, but if it is available, it is a special program where, those students are lucky enough to get it. So it's never too late to learn how you can be financially healthy in your habits. And that will be something that will help you in the long run, not only help yourself, but if you're going to involve someone else in your life, that will be a very healthy thing to look into, to make sure that your finances are straight and how to keep them straight and keep your home harmonious. So I give big shout outs to, even though I have other resources that will be listed on the blog, I give amazing shout outs to goodguyswag.com. Okay. They have like 20 or more things that, coming from a male's perspective of how to prepare for a wife, right? So some of the things I didn't go over all of them, but some of the things, I love the fact that one of them was like, dig deeper in what you believe and keep digging. I love that perspective because everybody has, a different spirituality or religion, and it just covered it all. And that's what I can appreciate. Whatever you believe in, dig deeper in what you believe and dig deeper. I love it. Or keep digging. So learning your spirituality or a source to believe in, that does help you. It gives you guidance in any decisions that you may have in life. And if, your significant other has that same belief or has that same, a similar system, you both can come together and be, even more elevated. But it helps you to have that belief source because you need something to believe in. Because this world is rough enough, and to think that you're like going through it alone is like really bad. But if you have a source to believe in, and that gives you comfort while you're going through this life and becoming the best version of yourself, because it's not an easy process, right? You have to work really hard for greatness. So as you're going through that process, then digging deeper in your source, it helps you. It brings you comfort. It gives you guidance. And, right when you thought that you would give up at the 5-mile mark, here it is. You're at the 110th mile mark, and you look back and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that I've made it. We've made it this far. So anyway, I think that was a very, very good point. Being present and emotionally available. When meeting someone, I think is very important because it's no blockage, right? It's no blockage. And really, if you're not taking all your energy to block and not be emotionally available, you're able to see, and that person doing the same, you're able to see that person for who they are and vice versa, right? So if they don't have your best interest at heart, you'll be able to see that. You will be able to see that in them, and you'll be able to gracefully bow out and continue on your search or continue on becoming the greatest version of yourself. Because it doesn't help you or them if you're not emotionally available. You have to be. we have to be vulnerable. You have to be vulnerable to show your true self, because that's, I mean, how else is anyone supposed to get to know you? You can't like have this shield up and then, because some people, they go through the motions and they have this shield up, and all of a sudden, this person is wondering why this person is not affectionate, or, they're not talking to them about certain things. And you know what I mean? It's just so many doors that are closed and not open to the other person that you're in the relationship with. So I think that is very, very key of being present. So how about this? Talked about this last night, right? At the the private chef experience. How we are a social media age, but that private chef experience, right? I'm trying not to talk about it too much because I want to do a video on it, but over 50 people in that room. And even though they started a little late, the staff that they hired did not show up. We were sitting there, enjoying the food, enjoying the conversation so much that we didn't even know 2 hours had passed. We looked at our phones and realized 2 hours had already passed. I think we were like 3 or 4 courses in, and that conversation was absolutely amazing. Everybody was electrifying. It was just so good. So my whole point in saying that is having that human connection, right? Taking a person out on a date, not to the movies where you have to be quiet and look at the movie. No, most of the time it's over food. People love to eat, so why not eat together? Or you could do an activity where painting and what is that? Paint and sip, paint with a twist. So many companies out there where you can paint and drink at the same time. Amazing conversation, very relaxing, and it's something that you can do with someone that you're trying to get to know. And it's like no pressure, even though, because you're on a date to get to know someone, but it's like no pressure to like list down all the things that you would love in an individual. It's just getting to know each other, creating that foundation, that friendship. I think it's perfect. So taking the young lady out on a date is great, or going on dates is great, so that you can learn how to do that with your significant other. Because, most people, they get married and they just sit at home and don't know what to do. And I'm not saying this just to say it. Like, I'm saying this from experience of working with other couples that, they get into that routine of the hustle and bustle of going to work and coming home, cooking, cleaning, and it's almost like you forget how to do that free time. And don't add children to the bunch, because that's even more stressful. Talked about those good stressors and those bad stressors. Season 2. Get into it. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh, this is a good one. I've been talking about this basically the whole podcast, right? Getting to know yourself. Being okay with being by yourself, right? Being okay to be by yourself. Take yourself out on a date. Get to know you. Conquer those insecurities. Getting to know you, taking yourself out on a date, taking yourself to the movies. When I say I had the best time doing that for myself, taking myself out. It is like, I don't know, I can't even explain the energy, or it's almost like a recharge. Most people just like to stay home and just a lot of my introvert family and friends love to like just dig in a book, have their glass of wine, watch their shows, and just don't have any other being around them. I mean, I could totally appreciate it, but one thing I used to love is taking myself out to the movies, taking myself out to dinner, or having a long drive. I absolutely love it. And listening to music, absolutely love it. It is a wonderful recharge for me, even though I'm more so as an advert, because I can appreciate being by myself, and I absolutely get energy from other people. So being okay with being by yourself. Being okay. You don't need a man or a woman in your life to be complete. Be complete by yourself. Because once you get with someone else and you invite them in that space, you don't need them to function or to continue. They don't become a dependent, or you don't become dependent upon them, but more so you're able to function on your own. Be on your own while in that relationship. And while you're in that relationship, take yourself out on a date. Spend time with yourself. Spend time with yourself as well. That shouldn't stop. Just like dating shouldn't stop. Once you get married, dating yourself should not stop. You should always have that quiet time. I guess that's where those dens come from, the mama dens and the, what they call the men, y'all, I can't even think of it. I know y'all saying it for me. What they call the men's room, the little room that they like to have, child, by themselves. the room they like to have by themselves. That room, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't even think of it. It's like escaping me right now. But I know the mama dens, because some women do have mama dens where they where only them, only they are allowed in there. I think that pretty much covers the points that I wanted to make as far as preparing for your significant other. You want to make sure that you're taking care of home. Take yourself out, learn how to cook. You could do that. Making your financials a priority. Learning how to manage your money. And someone else's if you have to. So one spouse usually handles all of the bills, or both spouses do. You have to learn how to do that with the other person as well, because sometimes this may be the greatest person you've ever been with, but are their financial habits okay? And if not, are they willing to work on those habits? Or, are you both willing to work together? So it's always going to be a challenge. But you just have to always set goals and work hard towards them, right? Being emotionally available, right? Being emotionally available, being present, getting into the community, learning how to be selfless, learning how to give when someone else needs, and not dwelling on our wants and what we want. And it helps when you're with someone else that you're able to fulfill or contribute to their needs. It's very good. So, what else? Oh, dig deeper in what you believe in, and then keep digging, right? From goodguyswag.com. You'll be able to go directly to this article on the Kissable Retreats website on the blog. So I think that is great. It covers all. Whatever you believe in, dig deep into it, and then keep digging, because that is what creates the real you. Because you need a source, as long as you're on that path of becoming the greatest version of yourself. Be okay with being yourself. That's the next one. Be okay with being by yourself. Be complete within your own self, right? Working on all of these things, and these are not all of them, okay? It's so much more. But working on some of these things on ourselves, it does help us, even if we're not on the path of becoming the greatest versions of ourselves, right? Just working on these things makes us become the best versions of ourselves. And then while you're working on these things, you end up meeting someone who has the same goals in life, who is working on themselves, who is an inspiration, and whom you can build a great foundation with. A friendship, which I totally promote, a friendship first, and then maybe go further on into marriage. So, further on into, to skip boyfriend, girlfriend. I guess that's what a lot of people like to do. boyfriend, girlfriend, and then marriage. But if your goal is husband and wife, the first thing should be friendship. So anyway, with that being said, I absolutely enjoyed looking into this. This was like so good. Guys, it's a couple websites that I did get it from and that I absolutely agree with. Good Guy Swag is really, really good. Black and Married with Kids, and also Waiting for Your Boaz, because a lot of them came from a faith-based point of view. But I liked Good Guy Swag because it came from an all-around point of view, and I could totally appreciate that. So, with that being said, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I really, really, I missed it. I missed y'all. I missed you guys. So, we'll be posting another one next Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss it. Please give me some type of feedback. Let me know if you enjoyed it, if you would like to add to it, if you disagree with it, if you have any other points. You can go to kissableretreats.com, to our blog. We have all of our podcasts posted on kissableretreats.com. We also just pre-launched the Kissable Treasures subscription box. It's not fully launched yet. It's just a pre-launch. Just want to see how much interest it is between everybody who would like to receive a subscription box every month. It's like a date night in a box every month at your door. So excited about that. You can go to the website and learn about that. And with that being said, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much. You have tuned in to the Kissable Nights podcast, where we discuss everything love, sex, and relationships after dark. Remember to tune in every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're available on iTunes, iHeartRadio, iCloud, YouTube, and so much more. Remember to go to kissableretreats.com and you'll get all the information on me, the Kissable Diva, Kissable Retreats, Kissable Nights, and now, gladly and proudly, Kissable Treasures subscription box. So with that being said, y'all have a great night, and remember to keep it kissable. Bye.